in our culture, there's a certain Lakota star constellation that appears to be in the path of the sun. And the constellation is shaped like a pipe. And the pipe bowl part is the part that goes in the path of the sun. And this is signifying something. At that time, this is the time period where you go to where there's willow trees, and there's a ceremony that you do and a song that you sing before you take some willow tree bark. It's a red willow bark, and you have to give an offering too. Whenever you take something, you have to give something back. Part of that includes a vow to treat nature with respect, because you're recognizing that you are a part of nature, and that when you take from nature, you give a thanksgiving. We call that wopila. So people will do this, and some people will do this in different ways. But the thing is, you're giving something of yourself. And then you cut as much red willow bark as you think you're going to need for the whole year. So usually it's going to be a lot. And then during these times, you dry the red willow bark. And this is what you're going to smoke in your pipe. In our times, we didn't have tobacco. We didn't use tobacco in our pipes because, for one thing, the tobacco plants don't grow in South Dakota. That grows in North Carolina, around the East Coast. And we didn't smoke that. We used this red willow stuff. So this is what's going to go in your pipes. We don't use tobacco. We don't use Marlboros. Because some people do that today. Yeah, they buy Marlboro cigarettes and then they take off the wrapping, so there's just that tobacco. Then they put that in the pipe, mix it with red willow. This is not proper. This is really not proper because that's not healthy. Marlboro is not healthy. But that's what people do today. You just don't walk around like, how today people just smoke cigarettes at the drop of a dime, yeah? Like every other 10-minute interval, they got a new cigarette in their mouth and they're going through 3-4 packs of cigarettes a day. Gee, many crackers, that's a lot of money, yeah? Holy man. So this is not what we did. We're not walking around with our pipes constantly smoking all the time. Because for one thing, this is not a hallucinogen. It's not a drug. It's only done, like, say, at relaxation time, meetings, and ceremonies. Sometimes people will have a different pipe for each different of these 3 occasions. Or sometimes people will just use the same pipe, but they'll use it differently in the 3 different occasions. This depends. Everybody has a different way, but you have 3 different situations. And like I said, it's not something where people are walking around all day long smoking their pipes, and there's no marijuana in there, there's no peyote, there's no drugs of any kind of hallucinogenic nature in those pipes. It's red willow bark, and it's not done to get high or anything like that. So if you hear of somebody doing that, that's not traditional at all. And this is using those plants in an unhealthy way. That's another story. Anyway, so this time of the year, they're doing this, gathering all their red willow that they're going to use for the year. And some of this is not going to be smoked. Sometimes people will give Cansasa offerings. Now, this is really not tobacco. It's Cansasa. This is red willow bark. And they put this in like little bags, and sometimes that's used for parts of prayers, or it might be used for Thanksgiving thing, or sometimes when you want to ask somebody for advice, a special kind of advice, you take a small bag of this Cansasa and you give it to them. That is called Opagi. When somebody asks you for help, and then if you make an agreement using this Opagi, that means you have to do what you say you're going to do, whatever it is. Remember what I said. When you Opagi somebody, when you want to ask somebody for help and you give them tobacco, and if they accept it, because you can turn it away. If somebody offers you tobacco, that doesn't mean you have to accept it. You can turn it away. Then he just has to go. You can ask somebody else. When you do this Opagi thing, this is a binding thing. And if you violate that, that's going to come back to you in a very, very deadly way. That's our tradition. Whatever you send out in your communication is going to come back to you 4 times as strong. No matter if it's healthy or unhealthy. Whatever it is, it's going to come back 4 times as strong. I'm just showing you what Opagi is, yeah? You know, like I don't go to somebody and give them tobacco and say, okay, I'm a Opagi you, can you take me to McDonald's? Do you see what I mean? You only do this if it's really a serious and important thing that you're asking. Like at a ceremony, if you're going into a sweat lodge ceremony and you have a special question you would like to ask, you bring a Cansasa offering. And then you ask your question. You see? That's a sacred thing. That's Opagi. So that red willow is used for that.
Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video. I really, really appreciate it. And if you would like to send a special thanks in support of this channel, look at the bottom of this video where the title is, and right under that, where it says like, dislike, and share, right in that area, slide it towards the left, and you will see the symbols change, and then you will see a heart-shaped button that says thanks on it. If you would like to click on there to send your thanks of support, I would really appreciate it, as I really do enjoy making these videos and speaking with you and spending some time with you. So again, thank you very much for listening. To learn more about Lakota spirituality, I have written a book called Wichocha Otechike. This book also includes Lakota star knowledge information. All the videos that I make, which are about Lakota spirituality, Lakota star knowledge, and cultural information, are based on this book. This book costs 99 American dollars. This price includes the shipping cost as well as a tracking number. And to learn more about Lakota language, I have written a Lakota language book called Chante Etanha Owoglake, Speaking from the Heart. And all my Lakota language videos are based on this book. This book costs 119 American dollars. This price includes the shipping cost as well as a tracking number. I also teach online, and I give spiritual consultations as well. If you are interested in any of my services and products, you can send payment via PayPal to my email address, which is hehaka7@yahoo.com. That's HEHAKA, the number 7@yahoo.com. When you send your payment, please include your shipping address and your email address. Ho, Lila Pilamayelo. Thank you very much. In the Lakota way, everything is circular. As a result, we do not have a word for goodbye in the Lakota language. And so instead we say until next time, which in Lakota is Doksha Ake. And I will catch you in the next video.